Today on Al's Anime Reviews is Chrono Crusade. This anime is in that section where it goes before it gets old and after it's new. I think it's a few years old and I can't find the DVDs or box set for it anymore. Anyway, this series is great. It was the first anime I ever bought on a whim and thought about giving a try. It was a great decision, and I have always trusted my judgment from that point on. It's an anime that blends action, comedy, and romance together in a wonderful way, and had me watching with intent eyes from beginning to end. The plot is a little hard to follow towards the end of the show, but this is the gist. Rosette Christopher is a nun. I'm holding for a second for laughter, and is trying to rescue her brother from a devil. She has made a contract with this other devil named Chrono, and they are a team of demon-kicking badassery. Upon retrospect, this sounds a little bit like a bad porno plot. An Axel-like one when the brothers made, well, never mind. But honestly, it works, and you should look into it. It's one of those action shows where the characters joke their way through and escape most problems by the skin of their ass. Not to mention a hot nun is a good incentive to pick it up, too. The animation is just good. It's not too complicated and not too simple. Characters look basic, but the setting is what really matters in this show, and it's drawn beautifully. It's set in New York during the 1920s. I don't know how the Japanese knew what America looked and seemed like during the 1920s, but okay, I'll buy it. It looks good, and I was surprised. We get the feel of the era, and it's like you're right there with the characters. What with the voice actors saying stuff like, "Everything's Jake" and "Oh, applesauce." Speaking of which, Greg Ayres and Hilary Hagg bring these characters to life, and every emotion they have for one another comes across. Sometimes they are just being goofs, and other times you can just feel the I love yous that won't leave their lips. Those two sound so adorably cute together, I cannot get over it. However, I should stop sucking Greg Ayres' manhood for about the millionth time, and move on to something else. I just sit there praying that the two of them will realize their love for one another and go to breed little half-devil nuns with superpowers. That's pretty hot. Come to think of it, how is it a devil starts working for the church? I'm guessing Chrono and Abel Nightroad go to the same kind of underworld prayer group. Chris Patton shows up in an odd role as Rosette's brother, as does the wonderful Monica Rial in a role out of character for her, but is still performed brilliantly. You have to watch the show to get what I'm talking about, though. The anime was almost flawless, never over-dramatic or being ridiculous. Okay, wait, that's a lie. This is anime. Of course it was. But at least it worked. It didn't make me want to stop watching. I guess you could say it doesn't really go out of its way to be different. It's hard to find things to complain about in this anime. It was so damn good. Really, a lot of anime is going to be mediocre or slightly above average. This is because anime often doesn't last that long, and there is an intense variety out there. We as Americans are used to hit shows that last up to 7 seasons. A show in Japan can be half a season and still be called a classic. Look at FLCL for God's sakes. We praise these hit shows in America and want some of our anime shows to last just as long, but wait, let's think about this. Every time an anime has decided to overstay its welcome, we look at it like it's just caught the HIV, giving it a few moments of pity, but knowing at the end of the day it's its own fault for not wearing protection. However, the downside to making a lot of 25-episode series is you get a bunch of mediocrity and a lot of insufferable crap. With all the creators out there on multiple projects, one after the other, no wonder we run into the same ideas all the time. Chances are somebody has already done your idea and done it better, given the huge amount of anime out there. That's why when you find something that fits a general good, it's like finding a diamond in the rough. That's one of the many reasons I praise Chrono Crusade. It's an overall good. Again, the plot did become complicated towards the end, and it has an ending that is legendary, but I feel that it has so much right about it that these very, very small complaints are easily overlooked. It meshed all the great elements of genres together, and you literally never notice. It's one of my favorite animes of all time, and for making me laugh, cry, turned on, and cheering for blood, Chrono Crusade gets a 5 out of 5.